Welcome to 100 Yards Football. Today I got a special video. It's my college football player of the year. The young man is C.J. Stroud, quarterback out of the Ohio State. So if you like the video today, please come and share it. I'm your host, Vincent Turner. And special thanks to my producer, Mr. Jeremiah Long, for making it happen for me this morning. One more time, if you like the video, please come in and share it. I will surely, and 100 Yards Football will surely appreciate it. Now let's talk about C.J. Stroud, quarterback, Ohio State University. Can I say California knows how to party? The city of L.A. in the good city of Watts, the city of Compton. This young man is right outside of L.A. What a year difference makes. Think about the ascension of C.J. Stroud right quick here on 100 Yards Football. He was a gentleman that had not thrown a pass when he took over the starting job against Minnesota last year on national television on Fox. And he had to beat out Quinn Ewens, the big five-star out of the state of Texas. And talk about pressure. In that football game, he ended up going for 294 yards, 294 yards. I believe he had 4 touchdowns in that game. No, he had 3 touchdowns in that game, I believe. But remember, during that game, the announcers, not calling your names on Fox, they were still doubting C.J. Stroud a little bit. Still saying, was he the guy that could do the job at Ohio State? And Mr. Stroud was replacing Justin Fields, who had replaced Dwayne Haskins 2 years ago. But there was still questions. And then C.J. Stroud had a separated shoulder that a lot of people don't know about that he played with all season. But yet and still, there was Ohio State fans who were saying that he wasn't ready for the job. That they didn't know if he could be the quarterback. And I'm saying, what? He come back in the Oregon game, and he throws for damn near over close to 500 yards. But the thing that amazes me, I thought about the undisputed truth. Smiling faces, they bring evil all the time. Beware of the pat on your back. So I'm going to take you where C.J. Stroud went last year. After them smiling faces, like the undisputed truth was saying back in the day in 71. He went for 4,435 yards, 44 touchdowns, 6 INTs, 573 yards in the Rose Bowl and 6 touchdowns, 72% completion rate, and most of all, a Heisman Trophy runner-up. Then he led an offense that was number 1 in the country in scoring, number 2 in third down conversions, and number 3 in passing yards. And then you think about this. I think about all the great quarterbacks that's played at Ohio State, from Rex Kern to Cornelius Green, to Rod Gerald, Art Schlichter, Mike Tomczak, Tom Tupa, Greg Fry, Kirk Herbstreit, Joe Germain, Stanley Jackson, Greg Kensel, Troy Smith, Dwayne Haskins, here recently Justin Fields. And you know what? They haven't thrown the football at that level. When the young man leaves this year, he might be the first pick in the 2023 NFL draft, and he might be the best player they ever played at that position. And when I think about C.J. Stroud, I think about a young man, when I seen him up on that Heisman stage, very close to his mother, but a very mature young man. Then I think about Warren Moon. When Warren Moon was quarterback in the University of Washington Huskies and that win over Michigan in the Rose Bowl in 78. Then I think about Jim McMahon when he was at BYU, when he went for 9,536 yards, 84 touchdowns. Then I think about Ty Detmer that followed Jim McMahon. They had 12 straight games over 300 yards, ended up with 15,000 yards passing as a college quarterback. Then I think of C.J. Stroud like Andre Ware, Houston Heisman Trophy winner. David Klingler, first-round pick out of Houston. Tim Couch out of Kentucky. Chris Winkie out of Florida State. Dan Marino out of Pitt. Doug Williams out of Grambling. Joe Gilliam, Tennessee State. Peyton and Eli Manning, Peyton at Tennessee, Eli at Ole Miss. Joe Willie Namath when he was at Alabama. And Aldridge Dickey when he was at Tennessee State in 1966. Them guys can throw the football on a college level. And that's what C.J. Stroud did last year at Ohio State. He was special. Big games. Rose Bowl, 573 yards. Against Purdue, November 13th. 59-31 win. He had over 361 yards. And boy, I'm sorry. He put it on Michigan State. Spotty the following week. 32-35, 432, 6 touchdowns. And I said, hold up. It's something special going on in Columbus. This young man might be the best quarterback that's played on 11 throwing the football. 72% accuracy. That's strength, that's skill level. Very smart, A+. Good zip on the ball, A+. Very productive. Elite intangibles. Outstanding arm strength. Split-second decision maker. Compete at any level. And he possesses an NFL arm, A+ on all of them. And after the first 3 games, the Ohio State Nation was questioning his ability. But he showed you what a year makes. Them smiling faces. We're patting him on his back. But now them smiling faces said he might be the best quarterback in college football. Them smiling faces say he's the first pick in the 2023 NFL draft. But most of all, this is what I like about C.J. Stroud. And his head coach, Ryan Day, said this. C.J. Stroud said, I'm not worrying about what I did last season. It's this year that counts. That's one thing that's the epitome of college football. I want to win the national championship. And how I'm going to do that? I want to make my teammates better around me. I have to take the leadership to make everybody better around me. I love that. Ohio State, it's going to be serious, man. I see that offense being 2019. The LSU offense that had scored 726 points. They had Joe Burrow. Jamar Chase, they had damn near 1,900 yards. Justin Jefferson, they had almost 1,300 yards. Terrence Marshall, we had almost 600 yards. And Class Edwards-Helaire, they had almost 1,500 yards rushing. This Ohio State offense can be the best of all time. And I'm going to go on and say this. I expect them to be in the college football playoffs, regardless of how they played on defense last year. Jim Knowles is going to get the job done. D coordinator coming over from Oklahoma State. But when you look at what C.J. Stroud has, he's got playmakers all around him. My God. When I look at college football and I look at the history of the game, I think I've never seen an offense that's returning so much firepower. And they lost 2 NFL receivers last year under this man, C.J. Stroud. Think about this. In 2019, when LSU ascended to the high level, nobody saw that coming with Joe Burrow. But think about this. Look what C.J. Stroud did in his first year. The first year at the quarterback position. And look what he got. He got the best receiver in the country, Jackson Smith-N. I'm not going to butcher his last name. That kid last year, 95 receptions, close to 1,600 yards, 9 touchdowns. He got a guy who got NFL royalty, Marvin Harrison Jr., who I think is going to be the best breakout player on the national level next year, 6'3", 206. His daddy was that dude in Indianapolis. Then they got Trayvon Henderson. As a true freshman, he had close to 1,300 yards and 15 touchdowns. And then C.J. Stroud got that NFL line coming back. Matthew Jones, DeJuan Jones, Paris Johnson, Donovan Jackson. All those guys, top NFL prospects. It's going to be a party going down in Ohio State, and C.J. Stroud is going to be the orchestra of that party. Special football player, man. 6'3", 218. One of the best passes I've seen come through college football, maybe in my 62 years. And I think when we look at it, and I'm down south here in Douglasville, Georgia, which is 30 miles from downtown Atlanta, we really don't take how special C.J. Stroud was last year. Bryce Young won the Heisman Trophy, no question about it. But take a minute and think back what a year makes. He was a young man that hadn't thrown a pass. Here's a young man that went into the Minnesota game, and he struggled a lot that night. But look what he did. Look at me now. Potential NFL first-round pick. 573 yards in the Rose Bowl against Utah with a first-round pick at linebacker position and Devin Lloyd. This guy's got an opportunity to do a lot of pass-breaking records in a single season on the college level. Jim McMahon, watch out. Ty Detmer, watch out. Warren Moon is the second incarnation of you, baby. Andre Ware, David Klingler, Tim Couch, Chris Winkie, Charlie Ward, Dan Marino, Doug Williams, Neil Lomax, Joe Gilliam Jr., Peyton Eli Manning, Joe Willie Namath, Eldridge Dickey. This young man is a very special football player. A tremendous offensive century around him. Best receiver in the country. Best running back. Offensive line with 3 potential NFL first rounders. And a guy that's driving the show. Ryan Day, you got to be a kid in the cookie jar, man. I know that you are excited because Ohio State going to be in the college football playoffs. I don't know about the other 3 teams, but the Buckeyes are going to be there under C.J. Stroud. And when it's all said and done, if he put up the numbers like he done last year, and he come out of gates against Notre Dame and put them on skates, the Heisman Trophy is going to be his to lose. And there's no question about it. Get Ohio State to the college football playoffs. He will be the first pick in the 2023 NFL draft. C.J. Stroud, you special, man, at 6'3", 218. Thank you to my producer, Mr. Jeremiah Long, today. And my final words about C.J. Stroud, the city of Compton, the city of L.A. We know how to party. The young man is from the Los Angeles area. But when you're talking about the Ohio State Buckeyes, you got to go like Ohio players. C.J. Stroud. Ohio! 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 Special football player. The Ohio State Buckeyes might have the most prolific offense coming in college football this season. And records, LSU, Joe Burrow, I would be scared with them 60 touchdowns you had in 2019. I really would, because it's a young man that's going to come out firing. Thank you. Be blessed. One more time, thank you to my producer, Mr. Jeremiah Long, for making it happen today here on 100 Yards Football.